Welcome back, everybody. Here we have a 2-0 lead for MVP Black at the HGC Korea Day 2. Can Raven bring it back? It seems to be a very uphill battle right now for this new team, filled with players that have Heroes tournament experience, but just don't have the success that the Black players have.
I feel like they have the potentials, and it's gonna take some time. Like as we saw from Tempest, like Modern Life, he was a new player, and he was making some mistakes, and basically that somewhat cost him the game. Like we'll see something like that today. We see Joju and Ding Diong, just as I mentioned before, just grabbing onto their hair, just carrying them into the game. Let's just please win just one game. I think they need to make some drafting changes. Also, in terms of macro, they need to look at the minimap, just think about where the opponent team is, and try to figure that out. And also macro, at least to try to catch up to them.
So, something I want to talk about, we're going to talk about more as we get deeper and deeper into this tournament, but we have a little bit of time before we go into this this map choice. Oh, no, we don't actually. Well, it's going to be Sky Temple, and it is Raven who takes first pick. This is Black's choice. It could be a fast third game here, but every win matters, because when you're tied in wins and losses, the difference, which I like to call indicator, is actually what determines whether or not you pass someone. So if two teams are 3-2, for example, but you actually went 3-0 in all your matches, they went 3-2 in all their matches, then you're ahead of them. So it's important for Black to win this 3-0 as much as they can, and even if Raven loses, to try to win as many games as they can. So this is kind of what leads back at you saying, like, please, let's win just one game. It's not about just the pride, but actually every single map wins, or every map win is important, and every map loss. If you lose 2-3, it's not as bad as losing 0-3.
Yeah.
So all of these things are important.
Like we saw that we had a 3-0 game, 3-1 game, 3-2 game yesterday. We'll likely to be seeing 3-0 game right now, but still, you never know. Maybe H82 maybe he was hiding something, like he literally played Thrall and Earthquake and make some big moves in there. But we'll see what happens in the draft. I think they have it down. I think they're getting better at drafting against Black. They're learning as they go through it. And in that short of a time, maybe they have something other than they had some 8 minutes, 9 minutes to think and give feedback. Looks like their communication was on point, so I'm sure they're gonna improve within communicating, and they can make some more plans.
I would like to see them run Li Ming again, run a snowball-y team fight-oriented composition, maybe even a Tyrael comp, because of how good their coordination is so far. But they need to go global here again, now that they are first ban once more. Zeratul removed here. They don't want to deal with Kyocha Zeratul anymore. Zarya ban comes in. Sky Temple, 100% Falstad pick here. If they don't insta-lock it, oh my god. This worries me. It's not a bad pick, but you give MVP Black Falstad!
Both Tassadar
on their map pick! They can also do this.
Yep, they have Tassadar, so they can go around. And Raven.
Okay, this is a fast draft.
Okay, I'm
so Raven has a plan.
Already.
Yeah,
they
Raven has a
plan.
plan.
Yes.
They have a plan.
They obviously it was intended to open Tassadar, and basically Black did take the bite, and with that Tassadar Vala, they were probably going to get Ariel with that, which is the right combo of Alariel, what Koreans would say.
Okay, this starts to come together. This time, the ETC ban makes a lot of sense. They're not going to take Karzim away from Meridia. We're kind of talking about the potential of that, but with this draft, this is not really an option. You really get the power of taking ETC away, weakening this, forcing most likely the Meridian last pick here for Black. They will have the potential to switch it though. This is the fastest draft we had this tournament, as Tychus Li Ming get locked in, so two consistent AD and AP damage dealers. So it's going to be global versus team fighting here. Taunt is the name of the game right now. Raven will have the potential to get a Wombo with a Taunt into a Root, into the Sulfuric Smash, and all Li Ming's abilities, getting resets. And NMX gets his hero here, his Li Ming. We're going to see Johanna come in for the auto attack blinds.
Very good choice from Chista. I think he's going to be a very good frontliner, standing on top, not getting caught by that taunt also against Varian from that unstoppable force. So
yeah, we saw that a lot yesterday. Johanna used kind of as a soft counter to Varian because of that. because obviously your tank is going to be in position as the most likely target to be grabbed. Taunt has such a long or short cooldown. But guys, can Raven bring it back, or will MVP Black get 3 more points on the board for their indicator score here in HGC Korea? We're going to find out right here, right now on Sky Temple. Welcome to Sky Temple. MVP Black's lineup: Sake on Falstad, Reset on Vala, Tist on Johanna, Kyocha on Tassadar, and Meride on Karazium, as Joju has a pause.
It looks like Joju has some disconnection issues or anything regarding, of course, before the game starts. It's usually an audio issue.
Generally speaking,
sometimes a keyboard, mouse, but those are. It's not like your leg is broken or you have a finger issue.
Right, and
that would be critical.
It's basically, I would imagine, most likely the case here is he's got an issue with whatever software they're using for voice chat, and that's probably pretty easily remedied. Joju actually to the bottom left of the screen right now in terms of positioning here. So it looks like everything is good, and we're going to go back into the game now. So no issues, and I'll just have G-Clef introduce the players once we get in.
Yeah, on the right side when they're ready. But MVP Black they look pretty warmed up and nice. Actually, Meride looks a little tired even. They were the last match to play yesterday, and they had to come, because Korea is an offline. All the players have to come at OGN, wherever they live. Even if they live like 100 miles away, they have to come to the studio. So for them to live in pretty far away, I believe in Incheon, which is about 30-40 minutes away from Taxi. They had the last games of the last. And then let's go into Raven. Joju on Malfurion, Hamlin on Tychus, NMX on Leeming, De-Jong on Darien, and H82 finally on Ragnaros instead of that Artanis.
That's right.
I'm pretty sure MVP Black is a little bit tired from going back and forth, having the first match today.
I would have to agree with that sentiment. Black's gonna have the faster rotation here. They split Falstad top, they went bot. It's the most efficient way to make sure that you don't actually get mega blown up and lose like really hard with his first trade. Tist is obviously the best tool to have in mid here because he can blind, stop the push. There's nobody stopping the push in the bot lane right now, and they don't have any global heroes, they don't have Falstad, so
this is a big problem already because they're gonna. This is a faster rotation. They already lost the first wall, which means they have the potential to lose that well also, which is really critical for that second temple.
That's right. The second temple well allows you to have basically 2 life bars, essentially. It's not quite that clear cut, but it's definitely almost as good as that. When you go for the second temple phase, the winner of that normally will take heroics first. They will get 10 first, depending on how the game goes, depending on how long that first temple is contested. There are exceptions. But as a general rule, that's what happens. And they are going to get the well at 1 minute 20 in the game. It's already dead. See you later. Goodbye. We're not going to see it on screen. It's actually super important, but you guys... They left the bot lane because they killed the well. It is no longer there. It doesn't exist. It's also annoying for laning, but I mean, this is an insane accomplishment that only usually happens with Sergeant Hammer or Sylvanas. And this is worrisome for Raven.
Of course, MVP Black made the smarter choice to say go down from the beginning, and they had the right push for 2 minutes. Raven will be okay for now, but later on when they have to fight for that second temple, of course, as you said, they'll be having a little bit of trouble, but they're contesting pretty well here. But they don't have they didn't have a Falstad in the fight. It was a 5v4.
Well, now it's a 5v3 with Falstad arriving a little bit late. Root not paired with anything here. MVP Black takes a significant lead and will actually double temple, which is usually only seen at the end of the game with a team wipe to finish the game. This is insanely rare. Tist is making sure that that H82 here can't actually rotate to either. We're seeing the respawns coming in, Hamlin coming up. Tist actually getting very low, but he's got Meride nearby to heal him up. And he also has Laws of Hope.
If De-Jong can taunt right, not enough. Meride will survive that. And Raven, they're trying to push. I feel like they're forced to make some decisions. They're making better decisions compared to game number 2, of course. But still, in the long term, I think Black has the bigger picture in that sense, and Raven is only focusing right what's in front of them, like the trees in front of them, when Black is already looking at the forest.
Yeah.
From a helicopter or something.
Absolutely. They have the full picture, it feels like. Raven, I don't want to call them short-sighted, but there are some things that Black has they just know, and it's in their blood. I guarantee you the split Falstad mid, eventually sending Falstad top, I'll hold that thought. As Reset actually gets caught here. Merida unable to heal him. Looks like he was on cooldown.
Oh, look at those skill shots coming out from NMX. Look at him playing on Li Ming. He's on point.
Just going back to my point, before Raven had like a cool gank and interrupted me. The
cool gank always interrupt. Like
cool
I
ganks,
do.
man, always interrupted me. I'm like, it's gonna happen again. Look at this. But just to go back to my point, I'm pretty sure the rotation Johanna mid, having Falstad top, the split to insta-go bot because they wanted that well. Oh, rehearsed. I guarantee you, like, not a word was spoken about this. Black has done this a million times. They knew it. They did it. Raven responded weaker. They don't have Falstad, of course. They don't have Global, so it's a little bit tougher to respond. But Black got so ahead just from that one little move. And yeah, like you said, the big picture, super important. And it's just something that I feel a team with less experience and a team that doesn't have the team house and a sister team, it's just going to be hard to replicate that type of play right now for Raven. They'll get there eventually, but they're just not there right now.
Yeah, when Raven actually have to talk about something, let's go this way, let's go that way. I'm sure Black already knows that they are already going to, in this map specifically, and all the other maps also, they have some kind of like plan A, plan B already planned. You just have to, let's go with plan A. Okay, and then everyone just follows like that. When Raven, I'm sure Raven also has plans, but not as much in terms of experience we're talking about.
Sake is actually pushing under the top fort. Is he just going to solo kill H82? If he had not molten cord perfectly there,
I think
that's a
Sake
kill,
can
100%.
actually come back and try to look for a kill, but he decides not to because you actually go back to the same spot that you actually...
Same health as well. He decides not to, but he can actually turn this fight like crazy if they hit 10. They're not going to, unfortunately, for Sake. It looks like H82 will hearth home. It's going to rotate down, but no healing well means everyone who gets poked and weakened here can't heal up, and in fact, they're just going to leave and try to get the pick on Sake. They fail to do so.
What a
and
quick
they're
fight.
chasing as well. They're going to lose EXP for this. Luckily, there's nothing to gain in mid. There's no wave there. So they're not actually really losing that much EXP. Maybe some bot EXP as Joju is killed mid.
And
Sake is a barrel roll, gets out. And let's just, Sake's just like, I'll just call it a day, I'll hearth home. It was a little bit scary there for me when I had low health.
That was it. Young apparently had taunt right behind. No, almost had taunt, not yet.
The
but
charge,
still,
the stun would have definitely caught him there if he had gotten caught.
But still, MVP Black was out rotating there. When they even have so much more sustain by having that Tassadar throwing the heroics out there just to be safe, but Raven is nowhere close to this boss. This looks almost exactly as the same when they played against Tempest yesterday. I think it was close to like the 11-minute game almost. It was just over.
This map
from
goes
the beginning.
fast, you know? It just really does. Raven got a top fort, which got them 10. And they actually are able to rotate down here to get into position in time to defend this boss. I don't think this will keep. They have so much range damage with Gleaming and Tychus to poke this down. Plus they had full ammo on both of these cannon towers. So I think that this is just going to be a dead boss before it even really does any damage to keep the real damage. Actually, it looks like it might even die before it kills the well. It's going to be pretty close here. We're going to see a fight. Big gust going off here. The boss will barely get the well. No! One more hit away. The boomerang not going to hit that either.
Black got what they wanted exactly. And Raven, they're actually doing so much better, I feel like. Well coordinated compared to game number 1 and 2. They had the better draft compared to game number 1 and 2.
Sure.
And it's just Black having such a lot more experience in that way, just macroing over Raven the entire time.
Look, that was a quick snap decision to commit H82 to the top lane to get the fort while they had vision of Black pushing heavily, or rather Black on the boss to go for that push heavily. So they knew they couldn't contest. They got 10, and then they were able to quickly rotate back and defend their keep entirely. In fact, as you can see on the minimap, their healing wall just barely still survived. So they have that, which is not the biggest thing at this stage in the game, but it's something. The keeping untouched is super important. They absolutely can mount a comeback. This is going to be their biggest tempo phase, though, because they're going to have to try to cut their losses here, down a talent tier. And NMX is forced in the bot lane to deal with these mercs. And it looks like Falstad, instead of trying to threaten, instead of trying to pressure, they're going to split and soak to try to get a faster 16. They're going to steal this camp, try to push top. In fact, the keep wall is exposed now to these incoming mini waves, 2 of them, plus the bruiser camp.
They already knew that entire Raven was going all the way down as Leeming was clearing the wave. This trade is going towards Black so much more than Raven. And Raven, this was like the only choice they can kind of make. They can even try to go for a fight, but that will be unlikely because they're still talent down. They need to hit that level 13, which they're really trying hard on, but still not yet. And MVP Black keeping this pressure on to the first keep on top.
In moments like this, if you don't have a global hero, you kind of just have to cut your losses and take some structure damage, which is enough to kill any structures, which means they don't get any extra EXP. There's just, like you said, there's not anything else they could do, but if they had a global hero, they might be able to try to defend while soaking, then have that hero come back to defend the keep. They defend the keep regardless, but they don't get a whole lot of soak. They're finally on 13, but Black has half a keep down. The bot keep wall is gone. Diong is out in no man's land. What is he doing?
Here. I think he was way too aggressive there, but he's staying alive for now. But Tist is also on the front line. The entire team comes in. Sake comes around from the side. He's gonna do a lot of free damage. But the entire team of Raven just running away. They're split between the two. Leeming trying to do some damage on top.
If this is a wipe, this could be game as Tist goes in, gets a big condemn. Will be killed here by NMX, though. He gets a reset. There's a big silence going off here as well, so it looks like this is not going to be the wipe that Black was looking for.
NMX
There's another
gets
kill.
Another reset and another reset on Falstad. This will be NMX reset party here. And Merryday having that palm, he does get back up with that palm at the end. But NMX is low on mana, not going to survive the chase. I think reset has a good chance of surviving that.
He's trying to get one more dash. He gets it. Very well played. NMX is out of mana. And actually, they should escape here. Very risky mount, but they're out of range. He will try to dismount Merryday. Ooh, the split here means he doesn't have a dash. He's going to have to use a spirit. I don't know if he has one. Okay, gets that just barely there to reset. Bit of a wild goose chase, I'd say, against a player like Merryday. Impressive what Merryday did there, but unlikely that they were going to be able to get kills. NMX played incredibly well. It was a really nice ice block there at the end. But Black still was able to take 3 despite everything not even having 16 yet. But NMX, with that pick, with that first reset, makes the trade even. And now, as it is, Raven's still down a talent tier, but all 3 keeps up. They live to fight another day.
NMX really played right Leeming. It's so hard to hit every single skill shot like that and get that skill reset. He was targeting he was like hiding in the bush, tried to target at the right target, and he actually got it. He needed all that damage to get the reset, but there's going to be a fight going on to hold that thought, and reset doing some damage as Vala. I think Tist has been pulling off great moves in the front line, and this entire time Sake has been soaking.
All right.
Raven there, they have to. They really want to fight, but they're not 16. That's what's hindering them from fighting right now.
They're going to try to invade here. Well, they were. They have Sulfuric Smash. Without 16, it's just too risky. They were looking for maybe a good taunt to the Smash, but it does not happen.
Just having Merryday, having a Karazim and a Tassler right next to a Vala, it's really hard to kill a Vala. You have to get the taunt, hit every CCs right off, and even when you do, maybe you don't have enough damage to take down that Vala. And this entire time, Sake has been pushing the other lane, so basically they have to make the choice here.
This auto attack Vala build is super strong. If you have all that protection, you can maintain your hatred and just do an incredible amount of damage. It's not even fully the unkillable Vala comp we talked about because it does have Falstad. It has that extra gold pressure. Speaking of which, Sake has this bruiser camp pushing top. He's been pushing this all by himself, all alone. There's already a catapult on the core. It's about to be 3 with the mid lane pushing in now. And Diyoung is totally cut off from his team. Can't even get the last shots here. We're about to find Raven's about to find themselves dead here because they need to come back. Diyoung can't. Sake pushes away. He's just going to auto-attack the core. And what a way to lose a best of 5. Oh, man. Looks like the core will just barely survive for now. 50% as Black decides to commit to go back to get the kill to secure the boss, to finish off the keep that's already weakened and end the game. This boss will kill the keep, which will push them close to 20. I don't even know if they'll need 20 to end this game, but Raven is out of time. They have to wipe, and I mean wipe right now, or they are basically dead.
Oh, they got the boss. Since Ake is already on the core, I don't think the boss can have the time to come back. Maybe the core will hinder Sake, and core health going down to 25%. But let's take a look at the team fight. Basically, Raven has no choice but to fight here. They're going to fight, but core does go down with Sake alone, 1%, and there it goes. GG.
What a showcasing of skill from Black. The difference in skill we see today from Black's opponent yesterday in Tempest and Raven. Tempest by far the better team. You could just see how easy this was for Black to 3-0, and you know, Tempest definitely giving them a better run yesterday. Raven has a lot to work on in terms of rotating and drafting. The third game was the only draft I felt like they really had well prepared. That was the quickest draft we've in fact seen in this tournament, but they still couldn't make the picks work. And Black just having a better rehearsed early game, taking the early tower, then moving down, getting the kills, getting the picks, getting that healing fountain at like 1 minute and 30 into the game or something crazy like that. I mean, it was pretty, as Sky Temple games go, they usually do end up swinging and snowballing one way or the other, but this one was like about as crazy as it gets. You know, the closest thing Raven had to success was in Game 1 where they won some team fights. Then in Game 3, the best thing they had there was they at least traded even in one team fight. That was like their shining moment.
And the NMX literally just carried that team fight with that resets. And that's kind of the things you would see from L5 and MVP Black, Miracle, and Tempest. They're experienced teams with that, not the same roster, but same coach, the same brain of the team. They have that, and even for you watching, you can try that in Hero Leagues. Let's just ping down from the beginning, just type on that keyboard. Let's try to go for the bot. Did you guys see HGC Korea today? Let's try to do this exact same thing. Who knows if it'll bring a win from beginning of the game?
Yeah, you know it very well may, G-Clef. But before we go into our second best of 5 of the night, we have 3 here at HGC Korea. We're going to take a short commercial break, and we'll see you guys in the Nexus once we come back from that little small intermission. And hope you guys enjoy it. Go get a soda, go get some popcorn, or whatever snack you like. Get some pretzels. That's what I like to eat while I'm watching esports. And when you come back, you'll have our next best of 5 ready and set to go here at HGC Korea with Wolf and G-Clef.
So not yet, but you have some time as you can play. Not a quick match or a Hero League. Maybe you can still play a brawl, but looks like that's the sign where we go out. We'll see you after the commercial break.